Good afternoon. My name is Shieak Tzeng. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wellumio. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to our company and to our flagship product, Axana, a portable diagnostic solution for acute stroke. So I co-founded the company in 2019 alongside my co-founder, Sergio Bruchkov. He's the medical physicist, really inspired by my own personal journey working in healthcare. As a former physician and a neurovascular scientist, I'd seen my fair share of stroke patients achieve very poor clinical outcomes because of delayed access to treatment and diagnostic imaging. So when Sergey introduced me to the technology that is now at the heart of our product, I recognized an opportunity to make a big difference. So today we're a team that brings 50 years of combined experience in the medical technology industry, and we're supported by clinical experts in stroke and neuroimaging. Our company is headquartered in New Zealand. We have subsidiaries in Australia and here in the US, where we enjoy strong collaborative partnerships with strategic groups that are helping us bring the product to market. We're targeting a $1.5 billion acute stroke diagnostic market in the hospital segment and a $5.1 billion international pre-hospital imaging market. We've raised a total of $4.5 million in seed funding to date, and over the course of 18 months, we have delivered an advanced prototype that is now in clinical trials. My objective here is really to raise our Series A financing round. We're targeting a $14 million round. The round is open. We have a lead, and we're looking for additional strategic investors to join our syndicate. So with a lifetime risk of 1 in 4, every 2 seconds, someone in the world has a stroke. So there's no doubt it's a big problem. But the real issue is time. Clinically, we've known for decades that patients do best when treatments are initiated within the first golden hour of symptom onset. But despite this knowledge, fewer than 5% of patients are routinely treated within the golden hour. And even if you arrive at a hospital, 75% are still having to wait 2 hours or more to be transferred to a comprehensive stroke centre for clot retrieval therapy. The reason for these delays is partly driven by the fact that our current clinical workflow is highly centralised. Basically, there is no way right now for us to diagnose, let alone treat, a patient at first point of contact with the healthcare system. Patients need to be transported first to hospital radiology for their initial imaging assessment, and often they have to wait to access the advanced modalities required to inform a transfer decision. In other words, your early intervention opportunities are routinely missed because current imaging solutions are either too big, too complicated, too slow, or they just don't provide the right physiological information. And this is exactly what we set out to change with Axana. Instead of bringing patients to the scanner, we want to bring the scanner to the patient to unlock those early intervention opportunities by providing insights that would typically require an MRI. Now, we've gone about delivering the solution in a unique way. So early on, we made the deliberate choice to not go down the journey of building a low-field MRI solution. The problem being that low-field MRI follows the same design architecture as a high-field MRI and tends to inherit many of the limitations well known in MRI, and that's imaging inefficiency, lack of portability, and just system complexity. And this is where our technology, pulsed gradient-free mapping, comes in, or PGFM for short. So like an MRI, PGFM quantifies the magnetic resonance properties of brain tissue to provide exquisitely sensitive contrast mechanisms for stroke detection. But unlike an MRI, PGFM is inspired by industrial magnetic resonance device systems that are built for portability, energy efficiency, and imaging speed, so very fast. What we've done is transform this efficiency-driven architecture into an imaging solution without the technical overheads of a conventional MRI. And the result is a system that's built for the front line. So Axana is a quantitative solution. That means you're not just interpreting shades of grey, you're actually measuring objective brain biomarkers. And compared to current low-field MRI solutions, the system is 12 times lighter, 7.5 times faster, 18 times more energy efficient, and we've done a lot of work to reduce system complexity so that it can be used in an acute setting. The system does not need AI to operate, but we are leveraging AI to extend its capabilities. So for example, our stroke GPS algorithm has been trained on large imaging data sets It allows the scanner to know the distribution and the signal characteristics from thousands of prior confirmed stroke cases. And we use that information to help the scanner find strokes really quickly. We're also developing tissue classifiers that help simplify the image interpretation. Our end users are ED physicians, they're not MRI experts. We want them to be able to use the technology. These are some of the defining milestones on our journey to date. For me personally, the highlight has been demonstrating that our technology can detect hyperacute stroke lesions within the golden hour with 100% agreement to clinical MRI. We've had 2 FDA pre-submission meetings, so we've got a clear view on what our regulatory strategy looks like. We've recently signed multiple MOUs with ambulance networks that have come to us looking to integrate our solution into ambulances for next generation stroke capable vehicles. But the key highlight is really seeing some of the early data come out of our clinical trials showing that our system can detect stroke lesions. Here is an example of a radial image that's generated with PGFM. This here is an M1 stroke. This patient is a very good candidate for clot retrieval therapy. So our focus is going to be on targeting the 1.1 million per annum acute stroke cases that are presenting to critical care and acute care facilities. It's a $1.5 billion market opportunity, and where we're going to make the biggest difference is targeting the 90% of non-comprehensive centres that have to deal with those acute triage and transfer decisions with limited imaging resources. Hospital adoption will also drive expansion into the pre-hospital imaging market, where we're seeing very strong traction internationally outside of the US, and this is why we're working early with ambulance networks that are very interested in integrating our solution. In terms of customers, we're going to focus on health centres that are performing 20 outpatient brain scans per week. For us, 20 is the sweet spot because any hospital performing 10 scans per week will break even on a $10,000 per month subscription contracts. If you're breaking even on 10, then on 20, I think these hospitals will see a rapid return on investment, and this is an important strategy for us to drive early market adoption. So we're currently completing our first set of clinical trials in Australia. We're planning a US pivotal trial next year. Our goal is to launch a product in 2028, and we will be seeking FDA clearance via the de novo pathway. A portable diagnostic solution, I think, creates interesting partnership synergies with strategics. With medical device strategics, I think the opportunity is really to drive the uptake of mechanical thrombectomy devices. That's obviously good for the strategics, and it's also good for the patients to get treatment. For imaging strategics, it's really about expansion into a new market opportunity. And both ED and pre-hospital are new markets. For ambulance strategics, it's about delivering new services and therefore new revenue opportunities. So we're fundraising at the moment. We have a $14 million Series A round. It's open, and we're open to speaking to any investors who may be interested. We have an offer to lead the round, but we're looking for any other parties that can participate or even potentially co-lead if there's strong strategic alignment. Thank you for your attention.